Hello everyone. Today we will start with op-amp application. We will use different op-amp application, and with these application we will solve different. We will see the different application that are used for op-amp application with op-amp. Before starting with op-amp application, I'll start with one more topic. In general, in last video we have seen that op-amp has applications in two regions. One region is a linear region and another region is non-linear region. Linear region means when input and output of an op-amp is directly proportional. It means the output of an op-amp is varies with input. The another case is saturation region or non-linear region. In non-linear region, the output remains constant. So based on that, we will decide our application in two parts: linear and non-linear region. These are the two types of application of op-amp. Now, before going to this, let me narrate a situation. Suppose you have an amplifier. Whose voltage gain is let's say 1000. 1000 is very small gain. Generally the gain are in the order of 10 to the power 6 and 10 to the power 8. But assume that we have an op-amp whose gain is 1000, and we have been given a 1 volt signal. Gain of op-amp is 1000 and the signal is 1 volt. We have to calculate its output, where 1 volt is differential voltage VT. So in general we know that V0 is equals to gain multiplied with VA minus VB. It is given VA minus VB is 1 volt. So if gain is 1000, VA minus VB is 1 volt, then V0 is 1000. It means if a gain of an amplifier is 1000 and we are being given a 1 volt as an input, then we can get 1000 volt as an output. But this is not possible, because if it is possible, then there is no issue of power loss. We are directly getting the gain. We can directly get the required voltage level that we want. So it generally doesn't happen like that. So what is the limiting criteria? Means can be the maximum output possible for an op-amp? The answer is supply value. In last class we have seen there are two power supplies for an op-amp. One is positive supply, another one is negative supply. These power supply limits the output of an amplifier. If let us say we have an op-amp whose power supplies are VCC and VEE. Let's say here it is one power supply, here it is another power supply. This is VCC and this is VEE. Obviously this is minus VE, this is plus VCC. If we have an op-amp whose power supply is VCC and minus VE, then the maximum possible output from an op-amp in a positive side is plus VCC. That means if my op-amp has a power supply of plus minus 12 volt, means VCC is 12 volt and VE is minus 12 volt, minus VE is minus 12 volt. It means the maximum possible output of an op-amp is 12 volt and the minimum possible output is minus 12. In other words, in that case that I had already discussed, if we had applied 1 volt as an input and we have 1000 gain for an op-amp, still the maximum output will be 12 volt, not the 1000 volt. So this is the basic difference. So in this case we are seeing the whatever be the input 0.5 or 1, the output 0.5, or what we can say, it is either, let's say when input is 0.5, still output is 12 volt. When input is 1 volt, still output is 12 volt. That means it is independent of input, that is non-linear application. Whereas let's say we are taking 1 millivolt. 1 millivolt, in that case the output will be 1 volt. 2 millivolt, output will be 2 volt. So it is increasing linearly. So that is a linear application. So first, today we will start with linear application. In linear application, one more thing is there. I had taken the example of gain being 1000, although In practical op-amp, it is around 10 to power 6. This is the op-amp gain. So suppose we have an op-amp with these values. Now, I had already discussed that it is limited by this power supply. Let us say its output voltage is 12 volt. Let us say its output voltage is 12 volt. Now I am taking one case. In this case, this is the equation. VO equals to A times VA minus VB. Gain is 10 to the power 6. The maximum possible output is V0 is 12. So if I take VA minus VB, what can be the maximum input for the output value? So if I take 12 divided by 10 to the power 6, so it comes out with 12 microvolt. What do you mean by 12 microvolt? It means that if the difference of the voltage between VA minus VB is 12 microvolt, the output will be saturated. If it is less than 12 microvolt, then it will not be saturated. In other words, if my op-amp is in linear region, the difference between VA and VB is almost negligible. That is 12 microvolt. So in other words, if we are talking about that we have an op-amp which is operating in linear region, in simpler words, VA and VB are shorted. VA and VB are shorted in that op-amp because the voltage difference VA and VB is just 12 microvolt. So since VA and VB are shorted because the voltage difference is 12 microvolt, we call this concept as virtual short. If one of the terminal is grounded, then this is also known as virtual ground. So right now we have established if the op-amp is operating in linear region. If the op-amp is operating in linear region, then the voltage difference between its terminal is almost negligible. It means they are virtually short. Now, how do we operate an op-amp in linear region? By applying a negative feedback. Since we know that the gain of the op-amp is very high, so it reduces its stability. So, and we also know the gain into bandwidth product is constant. So we apply negative feedback. This is a negative feedback. Output is taken and is connected to the negative terminal using a resistor. This is a negative feedback. So we take a negative feedback just to make sure that our op-amp operates in a linear region. So whenever we spot a negative feedback, it means it is in linear region. And if it is in linear region, that it means the terminal of the plus and minus terminal are virtually shorted. Okay, so this is the basic concept of virtual short and virtual ground. Now we will move into the applications. Now, this is inverting amplifier. It's very simple. This point is point B. This point is point B. Since V plus terminal is shorted, we can say since non-inverting terminal is already shorted, and by the application of first we have to observe whether it is there is a negative feedback or not. Yes, there is a negative feedback. The output is directly connected to a negative terminal through a resistor. So there is a negative feedback. So since there is a negative feedback, now we have to see. Now we have to apply virtual short. Virtual short means the potential at both the terminal will be same. So here it is ground. So this potential will also become ground. So now we will just apply KCL at this point. So 0 minus VA divided by R plus 0 minus VO divided by RF. We take the ratio here, VO by VF. It comes out to be, sorry, VA is input, so VO by VS minus RF by R. So it is an inverting amplifier with the gain RF by R, where RF, if we can arrange RF is 3K and R is 1K, so we can get a gain of 3K. See one more thing. This is a closed loop gain. Closed loop gain arises when we apply a feedback, negative feedback. The open loop gain is 10 to the power 6. However, when we apply a closed loop, when we apply a negative feedback, the gain reduces to the value of RF by R. We can play with the gain. It means we want an amplifier whose gain is just 5, because I want to amplify my 1 volt signal to 5 volt signal. In that case, we can apply RF value as 5K, R is 1K. We can make an op-amp whose gain actually is 10 to the power 6. We can make its gain is just by we can make its gain only 5. The only issue is it is a negative terminal. Negative terminal means we will get output that is inverted or 180 degree phase shifted from the original signal. Now, second is non-inverting amplifier. This is non-inverting amplifier. Here I have assumed this terminal is A, this is Vi. This is non-inverting amplifier? Because the input is connected to the non-inverting terminal. So that is why it is a non-inverting amplifier. So again, there is a negative feedback. Yes, there is a negative feedback. So we will apply the virtual short concept and we will assume that the potential at non-inverting terminal and inverting terminal are same. So applying KCL at A point, Vi minus 0 by Ri plus Vi minus V0 by Rf. We take the ratio and it comes out to be Vo equals to 1 plus Rf by Ri into Vi. If we compare the gain of inverting amplifier and non-inverting amplifier, the magnitude is not much different. It is 1 plus Rf by R1, another is Rf by R1. However, the major difference is sign. One is negative and another is positive. That's why the name is inverting and non-inverting amplifier. But if suppose hypothetically, if you have a choice, you have to design an amplifier, then as per your thinking, which amplifier is the best? Just think for a moment. If you have a choice whether to design a non-inverting amplifier or inverting amplifier, which type of amplifier will you choose? The answer is both. I am telling the answer, but just pause the video and think for a moment. I am answering right now. The reason is I will prefer the inverting amplifier. The reason is in inverting amplifier, the input and output is directly proportional to the resistance. So I can easily manipulate with the resistance to get the desired voltage. However, if we can see the output, the relation of non-inverting amplifier, in this case, it is not directly related. It is like in the form of y equal to mx plus c. This equation is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. So we have one constant term also added with the proportion constant. That's why it is not preferable. Although there is one drawback with inverting amplifier, that it is a inverted, but inversion is not a big issue. So in general, inverting types of amplifier are preferred because of its direct proportionality ratio. Now, there are few more circuits. Adder circuit. This is a subtractor circuit. I have drawn the circuit. You have to apply KCL and you have to draw the result. Result will comes out to be like this: Vo equals to minus Va plus Vb, and you have to try to match the draw. If you are not able to get the answer, just WhatsApp me and we will discuss on the group. Now, this is one more type of circuit that is known as V to I converter. This is V, voltage to current converter. V to I converter. Now, what do you mean by V to I converter? It is let us say we have a voltage Vi. I need a current which is proportional to resistance. So first we will analyze the circuit, then we will discuss the application of this type of circuit. See, assume this resistance. Let us focus on RL. This is load resistance RL. The current going here is IL, this direction, downward direction. The coming in this direction is I1, and the current coming in this direction is I2. So applying KCL at this junction, I can say IL equals to I1 plus I2. Acha, one more point. There is a doubt. There should be one more current coming from plus terminal towards downward. See, in this node there are 3 branches, 1, 2, 3, and there is one more branch coming to the positive terminal of M. I have considered only these 3 currents, not current coming from this direction. What is the reason for that? Why should not I consider the current coming from this direction? I am rejecting this current. The reason is the op-amp has infinite resistance, infinite input impedance. Therefore, there is no current going or coming outside from the terminal. So I am not considering any current coming from here. So I am considering current only in this direction, this direction, and this direction. So IL equals to I1 plus I2. What is I1? Vi. If I consider this point is A, and the potential at here is Va. Vi minus Va by R plus Vo minus Va by R. Taking ratio this. Just cross multiply, it comes out to be just pause this equation, just give it equation number 1. Now, if we apply KCL at this point also, This is also VA. So it comes out with, it is like VA RA by 2. So VA is equals to V naught by 2. Just apply KCL here and we will get, it is just a voltage divider. So VA is equals to V naught by 2. So now by getting this equation, put the value of VA here. So we will get these equation and we will get IL equals to VI by R. IL equals to VI by R. Now we have a load current which is proportional to the input voltage. But the question is, what is the need of this circuit? Suppose what is the circuit? It is the V to I converter. What is the circuit? Circuit is V to I converter. So we can directly use a resistor, apply a voltage across that, and we can get the desired current. We can take this resistance R, and we can use this resistance R, and we can get the IL current. Just put VI across this. What is the need of putting so much of circuit? Instead, all this work can be done by just putting a simple resistor. That is the big question. Now you have to think for this question. I'll reveal the answer of this question in the next video. Just think about it, and we will discuss the next video. We'll think. Just think about it, and we'll discuss the answer to this question in the next video. And on subsequently, I'll discuss 2 more circuits based on that. So that's it for now. Next lecture we will continue to do the op-amp application and we will solve further more circuits.